Good day to all of you. My name is Dr. Alex British Chinedu Ekwesi Tasie. Nwa nda agba ọhịa, nwa nda agba nta. I am a native of Ishopo Ancient Kingdom, which is in Ikwerre land, River State of Nigeria, West Africa. I am a writer, a musician, a filmmaker, a football coach, a historian, and also a multi-dimensional thinker. I am an Ikwerre historian who is soundly, vastly, and sufficiently informed about the background history of Ikwerre people. And I am popularly called Professor of Native Intelligence. As a historian, it is quite behoving that I tell the stories of the past as they happened in my land called Ikwerre ethnic nationality. It is my responsibility to unearth, to excavate the stories that happened in the past in Ikwerre land, so that the people of today can compare the life they live and that of the life that the previous generations lived, and see which is better. The historian tells the stories of the past, also highlights the principal characters in those stories, the places where those happenings, events happened, the causal reasons why the events in those stories happened, and also the time space, which is the chronology when the stories that are told happened. It is not just to tell stories of the past makes a historian special. No. There is a reason why someone is called a historian. Just one major reason. There are other reasons, I know, but one major reason. The reason is that the historian tells the stories of the past so that the people in the contemporary world can compare what happened in the past and what is happening presently. The reason why a story that happened in the past is brought back, told again to the people, is so that they can compare, they can look at, what happened in the past and see how to avoid reoccurrences that destroyed the previous generations, so that the happenings that extinguished societies and nations, governments, that diminished, even disgraced personalities in the past cannot happen again. That is what makes a historian special. And you see, because so many governments, especially in Black Africa, ignore, distance, the historians, they always fail. They fail because there is no one who informs, who tells the government the things that happened in the past, that shamed, that disgraced, that ridiculed, and even extinguished the previous governments, leaderships. So they continue to wallow in ignorance because no one is giving them adequate information of what happened in the past so that they can be guided not to have a repetition of that. For any society in the world to move forward, politically, economically, that society must have two distinguished personalities around it. That government, that leadership must have two distinguished personalities around it, staying by its size. And they are the historian who tells the leadership, who tells the government, who tells the people what happened in the past that disgraced, that brought down, that shamed the previous generations, the previous governments, the previous leadership, so that there will not be a repetition of that again. Yes, so that there will not be a repetition of it. The other side is the thinker, the philosopher, who brings out creative ideas on how to make a society move forward, on how to make a government, leadership move forward and progress. When you do not have the historian by your side, and you also do not have the thinker, the philosophy by your side, you are bound to fail. And that is why so many governments in Black Africa especially fail. They always bring in around them morons, fools, who are not creative. Look at it. In Black Africa, look at it before the white people came. And many years after they have left, look at it critically and examine Africa. You will know that Black people have not made any progress because the historians who are supposed to tell them the stories about the past, how empires were built, and how they collapsed, how personalities and personages rose, and how they came down, how many societies reached their epochs in the past, and how they all collapsed. Some of these things are cropped up by bad behavior, bad ideas. And so the historian is to highlight those areas and see how they can be built upon for the progress, survival of a nation. On the other hand is the philosopher, the thinker, who injects creative ideas into the system to see that the system moves forward seamlessly. They look at it, idiots, alcohol drinkers are there in the system. What can they offer? They only flaunt money. Money, 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 money. Fools behave that way. Look around Africa, Black Africa especially. Whatever we think we have, we can flaunt, we can found, are the things that are created outside the shores of Africa and brought into Africa. But we have leadership. We have government collectively in Africa. Fools are in power. People like us who are creative, who can tell the stories of the past, to inform the government, not to make the same mistakes of the past, are not brought in. They say we are not rich. We don't have money. And they flaunt their money. Fools! You flaunt money that is not reasonable. What do you use money for? Carry women, drink expensive wines, buy the white man's cars and wristwatches and all that, build his mansions and all that. Fools you are. Bring in the philosophers, the thinkers. There are so many of them in Black Africa. So many great historians in Black Africa. You don't want them. You bring those who are drunks, drunkards, whatever we want to use, who are soused and zonked with alcohol. What kind of ideas do you think they can give to you? That is what is behoving of a historian to do, like I do. Away from that, what I have here to share with you is the stages of marriage in the old Ikwerre traditional society. The stages of marriage in the old Ikwerre traditional society. Marriage generally is nuptial, is an exciting romantic relationship between a man and a woman. There are many reasons why a man desires to have a woman as his wife. Some of the reasons in the past were that a man wanted to have a woman so that they can cohabit and produce children, to continue the lineage of the man. There's also an economic reason to it, where the woman assisted the man to farm. They farmed and they produced plenty of food to eat and also produced the ones to sell. Companionship is also another reason. In fact, there are so many reasons. Today, there are also so many reasons why people marry. In some homes, people behave as if they are business partners. Husband and wife behave as if the relationship is transactional. In the past, it was not so. I don't want to go into detail what marriage is all about and all that. I just want to center on the stages of marriage in old Ikwerre traditional society. In Ikwerre land, uh, when a man, let me make it correct, desires to marry, uh, the people of the man and the people of the woman will come together, will be involved, will make their inputs to see that their children live a successful life in the marriage. That the marriage between their children becomes successful and also a happy one. So both families hobnob to make the affair a romantic one, a sustainable one too. In the old Ikwerre traditional society, there are advantages and disadvantages when someone marries, depending when you marry, depending the time you marry. For example, if a man is 30 years old and marries a woman of 25 years, 27, 28, or even 30, the advantage is that because they started that early, they will begin to have children that early too, if there are no biological or natural inhibitions and hitches. They will begin to have their children that early. And by the time they would have reached, say, 60 years or 70 years, their children would have grown to become big adults. And when they grow to become big adults, most often they leave the home to establish their own abodes. Some, for one economic reason or the other, go to distant places to stay, to live, and may hardly come back home to see their parents, especially when they stay there, get married and all that, begin to have their own children. That, of course, was how some societies, communities are being developed, founded, because someone has grown to become a big adult and is finding it uncomfortable to continue to stay with his parents. So he moves out to a distant place. If he finds comfort there, he settles. But the highlight of the whole thing is that when you have big adults as children in the house and they have all moved out, for one reason or the other, they have all moved as nature permits. This is now nature. They have all moved out. It now remains in the house, the man and his wife. You see, I have established the advantage that when you marry early, an advantage of it is that you will have children early too. By the time you would have reached an old age, a reasonable age in life, your children would have also become big adults too. And there are many benefits why a man should have a family, should have children. For protection, in case of internal and external challenges. For support. The children, when they grow up and are mature, they assist their parents in the farm. And they do some other chores, carry out some other duties in the house. They take care of their parents when the parents are now old, for those ones that are reasonable. So there are advantages why a man should have a wife, and that's early too. But you see, it also has its advantage or disadvantages. One that I have noted as I move from place to place in the course of my history work is that so many people today are suffering. So many parents today are suffering. They suffer because they are now living a life of a family without a child or children. You will see a family of about 6, 7 children will now begin to live as if they never had even a child. Why? Because the children have all grown up and they are no more around and close to their parents. The parents now live as if they never had a child. They live all alone. When there is an attack, a danger around, they find no one to repel that. No one close and around. So many people today that I have seen, that I go to their houses in Ikwerre, outside Ikwerre, their children have all grown up and have all left, deserted the house, remaining only the man and his wife. And they tell me, can you help us and get us a housemaid, a house help? I say, you have about 7 children. They say they have all grown. This one is a medical doctor, this one is a lawyer, an engineer, a writer, a musician. They are not around, they are not close. They've all left. Help us. Look at the backyard. We have orange trees where the oranges are all ripe. No one to help us and pluck them down. Look at the aja tree, which the Igbo people call a tree. No one to fetch the leaves for us. No one to help us run the errands. No one to help wash the place, sweep the house, the compound, wash clothes. A family that has about 7, 8 children, no one is around anymore. Haba! Quite unfortunate. I sympathize. When there is a danger around, before their children will come around, before their children will come, it will take some time. They suffer. I said, what kind of a life is this? That is the disadvantage when you marry early. You will begin to have children that early. At a time, they will all become grown-up adults. They will desert the house. Is it that your wife that has romanticism, arthritis, waist pain, eye problem, toothache, one health challenge or the other, that will attend to the man, cook food for him, boil hot water for him to bathe, run the errands. No. That old mother, is it the person you can say, please, my toilet area is dirty. Come and wash. Come and sweep my house. Dress my bed. Is it the person? No. That is the problem we have today in life. When you marry early, yes, there is an advantage. The children will all grow, in your face. But they may not be there to help you when you need them. When it is about to desert this world, you want to die, you want to go. You want somebody you can whisper something into his ears to say, see, this land is not our own, no. This forest is not our own, no. The other one is our own. This one here is our own. Somebody that you are going to meet. How? What are you going to do? So that is a problem. Your child that is in Canada, your child that is in London, that is in Lagos State, Kano, how can you bring that child close and around to tell him the last things you wish? How? So that is a challenge. And so, in the old Ikwerre traditional society, looking at this as a problem, the man and his wife will reason together, and they will agree that the man should marry a younger wife that will give birth to, small children or young children in the house to run the errands. Somebody that the man can send a message to say, go and call my friend. Go and call my in-laws. Go and call my brothers. I don't know how my body is doing me. It is like it's about time. Please rush to this man's house. Tell him to come. Rush to that woman's house. Tell her to come. If you don't have a child to run those errands, how are you going to cope? How are you going to manage? That is the problem. So in Ikwerre land, what happens that when you have grown-up children and they are no more close and around to assist you and your wife, you and your wife will reason together and marry a younger woman that will give children to run those errands. The children that will go and buy snuff for you, buy drink for you, attend to the visitors that will come to worship, to visit you, wash plates, cut kola nuts for them, give them drinks, run the errands. Of course, that really happens. In the traditional society, no man stays all alone with his wife. You must have younger people to send your errands. And that was why in those days, they seemed it very expedient and necessary that the man should have a wife, younger one, to his first wife, to his initial wife, that will bring children to run the errands in the house. That, of course, was one of the reasons why Ikwerre people married more than one wife, in the past. So marriage in Ikwerre land has stages. When you marry, when you are very young, you marry early, the children have all grown up. That is also very good. As I have said, there are reasons, there are benefits to, get from that. The children come out, nobody comes to the house to attack, to insult, to abuse their parents. They are all grown up to fight, to do whatever thing they want to do. When there is a problem concerning land contention, you see them around. That, of course, happened in the traditional society. Nowadays, how does it happen? Do you have children that can come and stay when they are dragging your land in the village they are around? Your child is in Canada, is in Lagos State, has a big chamber, has a big pharmacy, is an engineer, is a musician, is an artist, is doing one thing or the other, is a big business person, importer. When would that your child come to stay with you again to begin to contest what is your own? When you want to die and you know it, who do you whisper something to? Something important before you leave. That your wife has arthritis. She has rheumatism. She has waist pain. She has eye problem. She cannot walk well. Is that the woman that will run all the errands? No. The man will be allowed to have another wife, younger wife to his first child, so that that younger one can give him children to run the errands in the house. That, of course, happened in those days. And that was always agreed between the man and his wife. So in Ikwerre land, especially in the old Ikwerre traditional society, it's happened that way. Marriage, has a stage. Today, people are suffering. People are suffering. Parents are suffering. Parents are living as if they never had a child. Many of them tell me, they complain bitterly. I don't know where I can get somebody, a house help, a maid to cook food for us. I say, Haba, Mama, Papa, you have so many children, they are not around. They're not around. It is even worse if the man is dead or the wife is dead, remaining one person. They all desert the man or the wife, because nature has made it that way. You cannot leave your ambition, come back home to stay with your parents. No, you must move out. But when that happens, there is nobody anymore around and close to take care of Papa and Mama. There is need to bring in another woman to do those duties that Mama did when she was young. Those house chores that Mama carried out when she was young with Papa. And she cannot do them anymore because of old age, because of sickness attached to old age, because of one deformity or the other. She cannot. So what is necessary is to bring somebody that will be like a helper. It's not to adopt somebody's child. No. In the old Ikwerre traditional society, nobody adopted any child. So it's to bring in another woman. Younger, very, very younger. That will assist in the house. And two, that when you marry early, you say your wife is about 30, you're about 35. She's almost of the same age bracket with you. You will retire your wife that easily. Many men today cheat their wives because they marry their wives that are almost of the same age brackets with them. I have so many friends that have retired their wives. Their wives are no more attractive to them because they are almost of the same age bracket. Imagine a man that is 60 years. The wife is 55 or 57 or 58 or even the same 60. How attractive, how romantic will it be? And in the nature of a man, the libido does not die that easily. The libido does not die that easily. At 50, 60, the libido of a woman should come down. Should come down. So if the wife is no more attractive to the man, and the man is still sexually active, what do you want him to do? You want him to go to brothels to meet Ashawo people? No. In fact, in those days, there was nothing like Ashawo house. So the man married a younger person. So many of my friends that I know who married wives that are almost of their age brackets have retired their wives. They are running about with girlfriends, moving everywhere with girlfriends, younger people to their wives. They don't go to occasions with their wives. Hardly. You see them because the wives now wrinkles have started coming, old age has gone, and they are still shining as bobo people, bobo men. That is also a disadvantage. But when you marry somebody that you are older, than very much, or very, very well, the one you want to take, that woman will always be sexually attractive to you. And of course, it also has its advantage. When you get to an age where you cannot perform anymore and she is still actively sexually active, other men, in fact, your houseboy, your driver can take over. And make out, ma aye ma waka eme. Ma aye ma waka. Owa nsobu. Yes, you marry a woman that is very, very young and you are advanced. If you get to 70 and here is not that sexually active, and she's 35, she's 40, other men will assist you now. So when that happens, you remove your face as if you're not seeing anything. It's nature. But the highlight of what I'm talking about is how a couple should live in the house. The stages. When you marry and you are getting old, your wife is getting old, she is now incapable, to assist you do so many things in the house. There is need to get a younger wife that will give you children to help you, to run your errands. That was how it happened in the past. I know that now it will be difficult to replicate that. Why? The social living has changed. There are so many dynamics why we live the way we live. Socially, everything has changed. The communal life that we lived in those days that made that to succeed is a contrast to the urban kind of life we live today, where that will be very difficult, to achieve. My name is Dr. Alex British Chinedu Ekwesi. Tasie. Any presentation that I put up, you don't understand it very well, just go to WhatsApp so that we can, elucidate on that more. I know that this is something that consumes, money and space. The more space you take, the more money you pay, especially in uploading. So I'm always quite thrifty with what I do, economical with what I do. Anyone that you don't understand, any of the episodes, any of the topics that I present that you don't understand very well, you go to my WhatsApp, so we can talk more there. And the WhatsApp number is +234 806 369 3609. We talk, and I will expatiate. And make out dearly. Joki Kegosiano.